This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Detroit is the greatest!
Straight up light you on fire for a Coney dog right now.
Darren McCarty comes back with Neiman in front of him. McCarty draws. McCarty in. McCarty scores! He makes Darren McCarty!
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Vinny Stubbs in the building. What the hell are you doing?
What's up, man?
You're clicking through on your computer already? You're already messing
Taking
things up?
pictures of me.
I was taking pictures of my sister, man.
Vinny,
You're so beautiful.
you know what? You pulled up. You told me you're going to be a little bit late, which was fine. I had no problem with that. This is the night of the NFL draft.
Dude,
I'm trying
I
to
can't wait.
Trying to get in and out, and all of a sudden I see you brought a lady with you. I'm like, okay, now we're in business. She's wearing, Michigan State gear, so you made me a very happy man.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Take that shirt off.
No, hell no.
Actually,
Two
don't take
against
that
one
shirt
in
off.
Vinny, tell everybody who we got in studio.
I got my sister Rachel Wolf with me,
What
and
up?
she's 20 years old, correct? You're 20, right?
Yeah.
You are too good looking to be related to this guy right
Yeah,
here.
well, I'm
Watch
only
your
half sister,
language.
so
Watch your language.
got a different mom. She's prettier.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
All right, so before we get started, we're going to talk all about the Lions draft, all the fuck-ups they've done in all the years of drafting. But I definitely, now that I have your sister here, was he a troublesome youngster? Was he a bad boy? Was he this crazy growing up with him?
Well, I didn't really grow up with him too much. I parted ways after a couple of years, but
She doesn't really know.
Just
No.
no kind
I
of
kind
guy.
of met her when I
mean-
met her when I was like 21.
How'd you first meet up with Vinny then? What happened?
I just found him on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. I
My
was like,
brothers found her.
hey.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
so that
after
John, this is
years.
not going good. Don't do this to me. We're not going to put my ass on the incinerator. This is bullshit.
Yes,
Listen, it will go good. I want to know about you. So this is the part where you just lay back, relax. If you don't like it, just buzz me after. We'll take care of it. So when you first met him, was he a guy that you kind of said, okay, this is kind of like someone that I could hang with, or would you?
No,
what was your
definitely not.
What, Vinny? I'm asking your sister.
I don't care.
What was your first impression of your brother?
Well, I don't know. I was really scared. I haven't seen him in a few years, so I mean,
I was
really
230
nervous.
pounds. I was embarrassed. I was like, damn, I got to see my sister. I've always been skinny. Now I'm finally going to meet her. Now I'm fat all of a sudden. This is crazy shit.
Nah.
I lost it quick, though.
Okay, well, currently, is he a good big brother? Because you're
Yes.
a tall drink of water, and you're definitely good looking. So I know you got to be shooing guys left and right.
She lives too damn far. If she lived closer
Yeah,
by,
you
there'd be some
can't-
serious problems.
Yeah, right. You can't fend him off.
She lives out in Holly, and I'm in Livonia. If she was any closer to me, there would be some serious issues.
All right, most importantly, so tell everyone that's listening, describe yourself a little bit, Rachel.
Well, I'm 5'10". I've got long brown hair, brown eyes. I'm not very. I don't know. I'm outgoing. I think I'm funny sometimes.
You're not. I have to.
Really,
I have to
really.
assure you, you're not.
Okay. No. Okay.
I'm funny. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you dating anybody?
Yes, I am. His name's Nick, and he lives down the street from me. We met at my old job, Holly Hotel. We've been dating for a couple months now.
Dude, when I first met her, she was telling me how she was dating a guy named Kyler.
I was not dating him. I was just talking to him, and
you
he just kept
imagine?
making fun of his
Can
name.
you imagine knowing a person named Kyler?
So have you met her boyfriend?
No, I don't know.
Nobody's
I
met him.
don't get to meet anybody that she associates
What
with.
kind of shitty brother are you?
I'm not a shitty brother. She lives far away and always has. It's not my damn fault. I try to be there.
Why do you have to stay down here? Why can't you move closer to me?
Maybe I will.
Okay.
My
I
lease
have
is
an
up in
extra
December.
bedroom. I have an extra
Shit.
bedroom.
I'm about to come to Holly. You told me you're going to hook me up with all your friends when they turn 18. You're 20 years old now. You had not hooked me up with one of
Because
them.
I don't have any friends.
Yeah, me neither. We are related. Shit.
All my friends are at work.
All right, back to the NFL draft, John, before I throw you out the window.
No, before we started, now, Rachel, you definitely feel free to say whatever you want, chime in if you're a big sports fan or not. We'll definitely we'll revisit what we talked about at the start of the show, maybe a little bit later as we ease into this. But Vinny, you had a great clip. This is the night of the NFL draft. We're going to be talking about who the Lions are going to pick. Who is the guy that the Detroit Lions are going to target at 16? Are they even going to stay at 16? But you had a nice clip of all the mistakes. You're going to bring us back to the
what
Millen era.
mistakes? What are you talking? Oh, Matt Millen.
So play it. I
I
want to hear
had two clips.
Play it. I
I
want
thought
to
we
hear
were
it.
going to do that when we come back from break.
No, I want to hear it now.
Oh, you want me to do it now?
I want to do it right now.
Oh.
I want to hear what you did here.
For fuck's sake, why didn't you just ask me?
With the third choice in the 2002 draft, the Detroit Lions select Joey Harrington.
Lions president and CEO Matt Millen
There's
joining
one more
us
now.
on Lions Team Cam. Matt, good morning to you out there. Listen, let's start talking about the first round. You guys have the 17th pick available. Rashard Mendenhall, the running back, was there. A lot of people
What an idiot.
thought you might go with
There's one more.
him, but you went with the offensive tackle.
John, you got to shave.
Explain to me your strategy with that.
Seriously.
Mendenhall's certainly an excellent player and a guy that we really liked. However, we thought we also needed to have some work up front in the offensive line, and Brandon Albert was sitting there.
Idiot.
And Charles was sitting there. We were able to move back, pick up an extra pick, and we took Charles. And Charles, what he brings is a physical guy up front.
Idiot.
A little bit of an attitude. He's
No.
nice right offensive tackle. So we're very comfortable with that.
You fucking idiot. Matt Millen. I hate your guts, dude. You're the worst human being on the planet. I don't even know how you're employed. If I ever seen you in real life, I would pull your pants down and kick you so hard in the balls that you would faint. And then I'd kick you in the balls again. Because I don't like you. No, that's all I got.
I thought that was going different.
Okay, the Lions are picking at 16 tonight. Are they going to get the guy that you believe will help this team out? Are you confident in Bob Quinn?
I don't know anything about Bob Quinn, so this is what we're going to get. This is what I believe in my heart of hearts. I kind of agree with my boy Mike Mayock, dude. I don't know if they're exactly going to draft at 16. I think they're either going to trade with Houston because, they just got acquired Brock. Look at me when I'm talking to you, Brock Osweiler. So they need a wide receiver. So they got Coleman, if Coleman's still on the board, or Kansas City, who has no wide receivers. And if you remember 2 years ago, they haven't thrown a touchdown pass to a wide receiver in the entire season. Just their tight ends, Kelsey. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I hear you.
They're either going to trade with Houston or Kansas City. And they're going to draft Treadwell, one of those two teams, or Coleman, and we're going to draft the center out of Alabama, Ryan Kelly. We need him, and then we're going to move Swanson over.
Do you care at all? No one thinks that that's a sexy pick at all?
I don't give a shit if it's a sexy pick or not. You cannot have a Lamborghini with no engine in it. You get in it, it looks nice, but the bitch ain't driving. You need to protect Matt Stafford. What's he going in this 8th year? Give me a break.
Okay, but
Bob Quinn's got to do so. So they're talking to me. They go, well, Bob Quinn, when he's in the New England Patriots organization, he's a defensive-minded guy. How? Every year they draft an offensive lineman. I mean, grow a brain. It's kind of obvious.
What do you think about people that say that this is a draft?
Burt's Bees?
This is a draft that's deep with a defensive line or offensive line. A lot of people are saying, okay, if it's not going to be a wide receiver, it could be someone along the likes of, Jack Conklin.
Conklin's going to Tennessee.
You think he's going to go beforehand?
Absolutely.
Or then Taylor Decker from Ohio State.
I would take Taylor Decker, but I read articles about how he blocks too high or something. And I was talking to Ward on my podcast about it. He said that, it kind of just, that doesn't kind of matter. It doesn't matter. He's like 6'6". He's well over 300 pounds. If it's all about coaching, but that's what scares me too, because Jim Caldwell's not a great coach, and I don't think Bob Cooter is established as a relevant offensive coordinator by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even know what to say. Their defensive tackle situation's in shambles. They said they have depth there. They don't have depth there. Riley Reese a train wreck, so they need a tackle. They need a guard, and they need a center. They need 2 defensive tackles, and they need a defensive end and a linebacker and a safety. So I don't know. I'd be happy with any single one of those. You draft a wide receiver. John, I swear to God in the Holy Bible, I will cut this cord and walk out of this podcast, and I'll never talk to anybody ever again. And I texted that to Adam earlier.
Okay, I agree with you.
And I stand by that. I will quit this podcast if they draft a wide receiver.
No, I agree with you.
Or I'll just end up in prison.
Now, Vinny,
Bob ain't that hungry.
Bob Quinn is someone that's new now to the Detroit Lions. A lot of people have faith that he's going to actually do something with this draft. Do you have confidence that this draft will be successful for the Lions? I mean, I know that...
it can't get any shittier.
That's exactly right. They made so many mistakes. What was the biggest mistake the Lions made that you recall? Was it Joey Harrington?
No.
Was it Charles Rogers?
Nope.
Was it Eric Ebron?
Nope.
What was the biggest mistake the Lions ever made?
Mike Williams. It was the worst draft pick ever.
Why?
Because he took a year off of USC and he was out of shape when they drafted him. He was like 50 pounds. He was essentially a tight end, and they drafted him, what was it, like number 5 overall to be a number 1 wide receiver? After they already had Roy Williams, and they didn't have an offensive line then, and they had Mike Martz, their offensive coordinator. It was a shitty draft pick. That was the worst draft pick they've ever picked.
Exactly. And then
Joey Harrington's number 2.
Yeah, exactly. And you really believe that Matt Millen was able to earn an extension?
I hate these headphones, John, seriously.
Too bad.
Put your shirt on.
So Matt Millen was able to earn an extension. You believe that? He was able to actually get another contract.
The organization's a nut head to toe.
Mm-hmm. But now they've turned things around. I mean, you think that they brought in a guy from New England that a lot of people are feeling like this is the guy that's going to turn things around. Mm-hmm. And I do believe starting tonight, this draft, he's going to pick a guy that's going to be impactful. He's going to be somebody that's going to help this team immediately. You mean, just from 2011, there's nobody left. Guys that should be in their prime. There's nobody left from that entire draft. I don't believe that's going to happen going forward. I think there's going to be a lot of impact players that the Lions select. And if they make a couple trades, I think they'll be successful. I'm pretty confident. What's your confidence level?
That's yet to be determined. I don't know. I'm not sure what this guy's capable of doing.
Just before the draft. Bob Quinn, I know you've had now time.
I get excited every single year during the draft. So last year I didn't even know who the hell Laken Tomlinson was. Where'd he come from, Duke? I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it, man. That's what they need. He's a leader. They showed him in the locker room. He's like a huge leader. He comes here in the preseason. He's throwing guys around. He didn't do shit all year long. What did he get replaced by Olay or something? He was terrible.
He was terrible, but still, offensive linemen take a little bit of time. I think that you're being a little bit impatient with him. I do believe as time goes on, he'll learn the system and he'll be an effective
All right, well,
piece.
get your hand off my... Listen, who the hell do you think they're drafting? Why do you keep busting my balls about?
Yeah, I think they're going to draft Shaq Lawson, defensive end. I think he's going to be...
From Clemson?
I do believe that
defensive
if he's there...
end?
Now, the problem is he may be drafted sooner.
Problem with you people.
Now, he may be drafted sooner, but he's a guy... You watched the national title game. He was, a guy that was impactful for Clemson. That was a solid team. So Shaq Lawson's a guy that has a lot of potential, and he's a guy that could be someone that comes in and helps out Ziggy Ansah on that
Who's
line.
the guy that plays on the opposite side of Shaq Lawson?
I'm not sure.
Well, he's projected to go in the second round. I think the Lions... They trade this pick, their 16th overall pick, to Houston or Kansas City or whoever for a wide receiver, whatever, and they still draft that center because that center is the only center that's gotten drafted in the first round since who? Nick Mangold from Ohio State to the Jets. So you trade that damn pick, and the guy's still going to be there. So you get an extra draft pick in the second round. You could draft that defensive end that plays on the opposite side of Shaq Lawson, who's projected actually a first-round draft pick, and I know you're not going to look it up, so I'm going to have to do it my damn self.
Listen, let me tell you what I heard on the radio today, and it makes a little bit of sense.
Stop listening to the radio. You have to have your own perspective on shit.
No, it made a lot of sense, and I'm starting to think a little differently along the lines of what you may be thinking, but Matthew Stafford's contract's up in a couple years, and so...
Connor Cook?
No. Matthew Stafford's a guy that has a lot of clout in the organization. He goes up there and he's like, hey, I need an offensive lineman, or I need that wide receiver. Or because if he says to the organization, hey, I need this guy, and they don't do it, and they go outside of what he's maybe thinking, then maybe he may just be like, okay, I'm not going to be as happy going into this negotiation.
Right.
So do you think Matthew Stafford might pull that card, and you'll see a Laquan Treadwell or an offensive lineman? I'm starting to think that might be the case.
They're going to draft an offensive lineman. They don't want no wide receiver. They're just going to stay away from the wide receiver thing. I think you've learned your lesson with Mayhew and Lawan and Millen.
But if they do you think then that Stafford would have been the guy that made
No. You know who is? The Fords. And Bob Quinn, like I told you, has been stripped and neutered before he even got a chance to run the organization.
Okay. I think differently.
It's all about selling tickets, and you already know that. They don't give a shit about winning. They play 8 games a year. They play in a dome, and everybody keeps buying tickets. And ticket prices went up. They went 7-9. They lost 4 more games than they did the year before. And they lost Calvin Johnson. And ticket prices are going up. Why? Because they're going to draft the wide receiver in the first round, and I'm going to kill myself.
Exactly. I'm starting to feel, before...
Dude, if they draft a fucking wide receiver in the first round, I'm going to lose my mind.
Rachel, are you a Lions fan at all? You catch any football?
No, she doesn't watch football.
No sports?
I don't watch football.
No? Oh,
Nope.
okay. You're lucky because...
It's like the Big Bang Theory of, football.
No, you're lucky.
So nerdy, dude.
You're saving her heartbreak.
We're
That's
literally,
smart.
we're losers. Seriously, we're losers.
No, man. People like to talk about sports.
Right. Dude, I got shit-faced drunk the other night at Stables and played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Remember that game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
What's that?
Dude. It's a NES game, Nintendo. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Never
Well,
heard of
anyway,
it.
I could beat that whole game sober. I was like, I'll beat dude, watch this shit. I grabbed the remote. And you remember
Probably
Soda
died in the first
Popinski?
round.
He beat my ass in like 20 seconds.
Now, Vinny, quiet. Rachel, what do you think about Vinny and his pursuit of his career in radio? I know you went up to his work earlier today. What do you think? Do you think this guy's going to make it as a radio
heck
sports
yeah.
guy?
Oh, yeah.
You think
He's got potential.
I don't
Sure.
think it's going to be sports, dude.
You don't think it's going to be sports?
No,
Why?
I don't think it's going to be
You
sports.
shifting? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm going to
Try whatever you can.
morning show.
Morning show. It's going to be early as hell.
I need someone that I'm going to have to coast off of, too. I don't think I can ride the ship, as you can tell. Like, you heard the first podcast I did on the Vinny Stubbs Show, which you can hear every Sunday.
Maybe.
SportsPodcast.com.
Yeah.
No, I was going through a lot of shit week 3. I couldn't post it. And I had those guys come over 2 separate times. You don't know. Dude, it's so hard. Because I told you this. Listen, everyone, you're going to know this now. I had to coast it. Are you going to do the Dan Miller drop? I had to coast off you and Jarvie. It's really tough to do. And when you're working with 2 shitheads that have no broadcasting experience, it's kind of hard to steer the ship. I'm not Captain Stabbin', although I wish I was.
Okay, so give me your impressions of your first 3 episodes. Are you liking it?
The first one was funny, but the editing was terrible because I don't edit. Jarvie edits. The second one, the editing was easier, and I figured out how... The whole thing was the digital audio recorder. I didn't know how to pause it because it's a Sony. I'm used to the Tuscams, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And that's why it sounded like shit, and I sent it back to him like, dude, I can't post this. I was like, I quit. And then you sent it back to me all in one wavelength, and I listened to it. I was like, holy shit. And I'm so sorry. And then the second one got a little bit better, right? And then the third one
was the funniest. It was very funny.
I
Do your
think
own
so, too.
podcast?
Yeah, in the Livonia Park Studios.
Aw.
He has a little version of this at his apartment. So you got to go over there when he's recording. I think you'd be a nice addition to the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely
do
think
need
so.
a
If it's
female to help
sports,
me.
though, I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know if Peter the 22-year-old virgin's coming back. He hit ignore on me 2 times. I don't know what to do
The
with this guy.
22-year-old virgin? Are you... Poor
What?
kid.
Tell your sister about Pete.
I met Pete landscaping 2 years ago, and we were doing spring cleanups, and we had all the debris from this commercial place that we were doing. So I was hauling it off to the dump in Wixom, and this guy comes with me, and he's like really weird, but I was really intrigued by him because I like really weird people for some weird reason. And he starts talking to me, and I'm like, I'm listening to the radio at the same time. It was Detroit Sports 105.1, and I forget what show it was. So I'm sitting there driving. What are you doing? I'm insecure.
Taking a picture.
I'm sitting there driving with this guy, and I'm listening to the radio. I'm staring at it because I don't know who this guy is, so I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. And I'm driving to the dump, and he starts talking, and I'm listening to the radio at the same time, and I go, without looking at him, in my mind, I go, holy shit. I'd rather listen to this guy right here than this guy on the radio. And that's how it all started.
See? And he's a guy, he's pretty funny. He's a good kid, and he's actually a loyal dude to you. You know,
No, he's not loyal to me because he shunned me like 3 times
Oh,
last week.
cry about it.
I think you
Yeah,
might
I'm
be.
going
What
to.
are
He
you, a
adds a lot to the
16-year-old
show.
girl?
I didn't even get the news read last week because of him.
So speak to him. Tell him, hey, what do you need from him?
He doesn't respond. I think that techno song really wore him out. Did you hear that shit?
It was good. So what do you want to do with the show? Like, what is your?
I don't know.
Well, I want to give your brother credit, okay? Because the show got so, because he built a following. He was an intern at Detroit Sports 105.1 on the Drew and Mark show. They featured him quite a bit. He was on the radio all the time, and he had some very funny skits and bits, and it was just funny. So he built a following. So his first debut show was so widely received. It was the fastest downloaded to like 1,500 that we ever seen. So,
That's right.
So he's got an audience. He's got people that like to listen to what he does. But now you just got to tell your brother every week it has to come out. He took a week off after 2.
I didn't take a week off. I did the show. I already told you. Do you want to hear it? I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous.
Don't want to hear it. And you'll see why. I'll go, good job, Vinny. Never mind.
Good job. Good job taking 2 weeks off of work.
Give me the Cliff Notes. Give me the Cliff Notes. Why was it so awful?
Well, I was just having a lot of anxiety issues, and Pete was doing a terrible job. His breath smelled like a shit sandwich with cheese. Cook wasn't talking into the mic again. He keeps
What kind of
grabbing the
cheese?
mic.
Yeah.
He keeps hitting the mic. I'm like, quit hitting the mic. Talk into the mic. And then he'll cut off. Shut up. I'll beat your ass. I'm like, dude. And I had to cut all that stuff out. It's just strenuous on my mind, body, and soul, and I cannot keep doing it. So I had Ward come in because Cook was supposed to come in, but he plays football for the Michigan Lightning, supposedly on Saturdays, out of nowhere. That my show started on Saturday. Now, all of a sudden, he's playing football, which he is, but all of a sudden, it's funny that it's on Saturday that he has to do it. And so I had Ward come on there, and Cook's sending me text messages telling me what a piece of shit I am. The guy that wears a ring on his head with the blue face at the Lions games, his name's the Heckler. Are you even listening to anything I say? This guy's a robot.
Go ahead. I mean, I can hear everything. Don't worry. I can multitask. I can do 9 things at once.
Is this draft
He's
going
got
on right
kids.
now?
He knows how to do this.
Mm-hmm. Are you excited, Vinny? Are you excited?
No, I'm not. Dude, the Eagles are so screwed.
Now,
Both Jerry, what?
No, stay on task. Okay,
I don't want to stay on task about my podcast anymore. It sucks.
No, your podcast is great. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's great. I don't want to talk about it anymore, John Namath.
Why?
Because I just explained everything
You're
that I
a
had to tell
success.
you.
You're gonna be a success. You're gonna do great.
You see that? Thank you.
So don't
Rachel.
take a week off though.
Unfortunately, that's his sister. That's his sister, so she has to say that. See, the problem with Vinny is this guy went to school for this, and yet he doesn't know when to turn off his sounds. Sounds are just coming through the earphones. Get it together, brother.
Dude, it's the laptop, bro. Do you want good quality music or not?
I do. You ready to fire it up? Let's take a quick break.
Ready?
Listen, this is a commercial that Vinny shot himself. I got it. Listen to it. We'll get your review after. You can play the music. You can play the music after the commercial. Live producing right here on the podcast. Listen to your brother. He did this. He put this together. Motor City Sports Rant, Doc and Vinny here with you. DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Let me tell you about my friends at Fanatic U. Head on down to Fanatic U where they have it all from jerseys, hats to autographed bats. Now with 6 locations in the metropolitan area, Garden City, Taylor, Southfield, Fraser, Novi, and now their newest location in downtown Detroit right across the street from Ford Field. The boys love it and so do I. Fanatic U. Everything for the Fanatic U. It's total sarcasm. Fanatic U.
Oh my gosh, you guys got similar mannerisms? Oh no! You don't do that. You go, oh my gosh.
Cookie thought it would be funny if I did that. He goes, you should be a total
That's
asshole.
really funny.
I go, Fanatic U.
I know I know Vinny freaked out about the music. Don't worry about it. I want to get back talking to your sister real fast. All right, so you now heard Vinny first 20 minutes of this podcast. He's got a lot of chops. He can handle this. He can definitely talk. But now I want to know. I want to get the dirt on Vinny. Are you aware of any of the ladies he's dated or aware of some of the people that he's been involved with?
You're going to fire me?
You can fry her ass. I don't care. Tell her what you think. She's gone. Go ahead.
What was her name? Erin?
I don't remember.
Oh, God.
Tell
she
me.
was the absolute worst. I have never met, I've met her once, but she's just, her voice is just ringing in, I don't know, like that.
It's a total put on. Like she talks like she's
yeah.
It's fake. It's phonier than hell.
So okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Valley Girl.
Okay, so we'll move on. So you weren't approving of
Dude,
her.
my whole family
Heck
hated
no.
her. You got to be all
None
honest
of us
now.
liked
Okay,
her.
No one liked her.
What kind of lady do you want for your brother? Who would best fit to date your brother Vinny?
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. Sure. I would never. I don't know.
There's not ever gonna be one. I don't think.
Well, see, I thought Shelby was the one for you.
Listen, here's the best part, Vinny. You can't.
Why am I getting
I'm
my
in
balls
control.
put in a deep fryer and dropped?
This is what you get first and foremost.
You brought me here.
Exactly, and he didn't tell me. But you're wearing.
I didn't know.
You're wearing Michigan State gear, so you're welcome here anytime.
That's bullshit.
Just
Take
dial
that
me
off.
up. I'll give you my
You're
number.
wearing pink. You're bullshit.
Good point.
We both are. Which
Well,
is
you're
kind of weird.
purple. That's pink.
Yeah.
This shirt's vicious. I like it. Clearance rack. Cold.
Is your brother ready to get married? Is he ready to settle down, have some
Ooh.
kids?
Heck no.
Me?
No, absolutely not.
Hell
You have a
no.
lot of growing up to do before you settle down and have kids.
Good point.
What does he need to do to kind of grow up? What do you think?
Get rid of those douchebag glasses he's got in his car.
You should see these guys. You seen them on the
They look
heckler,
absolutely horrible.
Everybody's gonna shit on my chest today. I see.
All right.
Terrific. All right, they're douchey. I get it. I see.
Okay.
All right, Vinny.
Get rid of them for real.
Yes,
They were
do not
$50.
look.
I got it for $18.
I get my sunglasses at 5 and below.
Okay.
Okay, and they look good. Those don't look good.
Listen, my shades.
Get some
are
like
phenomenal.
Ray-Bans or something, like knockoff Ray-Bans, not those stupid wraparound glasses that are like 4 different shades that are completely see-through, like regular glasses.
I think they're actually quite vicious.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, Vince, so you're excited. You said I want to see the Eagles pretty much draft Carson Wentz.
I don't want to see the Eagles draft Carson Wentz.
Oh, I thought you'd be excited.
No, he went to a horrible ass school. He never played against any good competition.
Any chance Adam thinks that the
Jared
Rams
Goff's getting drafted number 1. He's from L.A. L.A. sells money. It's all about making revenue. Hello.
on the Doc and Jock podcast, Adam thought that Wentz was going to go number 1.
Adam's so dumb. Don't listen to anything he has to say. All he just knows about hockey. That's it. Come on, dude. Leave football to Vinny Stubbs, dude.
What are your thoughts about the Eagles draft? Number 2, they moved up. What was your reaction when they first made those moves? When they first made the draft?
Terrible. Awful. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I understand Doug Peterson's new coach. Chip Kelly said that. It's all Chip. This is Chip Kelly's fault. This is all Chip Kelly's fault still. Doug Peterson's going to be way better of a head coach. Did Sam Bradford get traded yet?
No, he did come out and say that he wants to be gone.
Traded.
He might be traded.
I thought that Wentz would sit on the sideline for a year, like Aaron Rodgers did with Brett Favre. You know, he's had like 3 years. And Bradford would suck balls to go 6-10, 7-9 for 2 years, and then you would see Wentz. And I don't know what Wentz is capable of doing, but as of right now, if Cleveland, well, maybe because they got RG3 and they believe him, if Cleveland, out of all teams that have never ever in my life since Art Modell's moved them to Baltimore, has had a quarterback says Carson Wentz ain't worth it, we're moving up, we'll trade and take all these picks, you're in big trouble, dude. And Carson Wentz, he's going to be a backup quarterback in the NFL.
You know anything about the head coach, Peterson?
He was offensive coordinator for Andy Reid, so he's going to be Andy Reid 2.0.
That's not bad.
Essentially, and Jim Schwartz was a very, very good defensive coordinator in Tennessee.
So you're pretty much happy with the Eagle staff?
I don't know much about their offensive coordinator, but I think what they're trying to do is go back to where they were at back in the early 2000s, late 90s with McNabb and Andy Reid, but I don't know if it's going to work. I think it's going to be like a generic version of that. So maybe they'll go 10-6 here and there, but it's going to take 3 years. Chip Kelly dismantled the whole team. I mean, look at the depth chart.
So looking at the Eagles versus the Lions, because this is a Detroit podcast.
Lions win all day.
Lions are ahead of them. They did destroy the Eagles when they played them in the 2015 season.
Correct.
Okay, so you're still on board.
That was bittersweet, man.
What was it like?
Bittersweet.
You know, super tough. You see your childhood team you like, but Detroit just went in there and they handled their business.
Mm-hmm.
And they're further along, too. I do believe that the Eagles are a little bit further away. They're going to have a tough time now with the new regime. And if I agree with you. I think this draft
But I will
might
say this one thing. You ready? They will win a playoff game before the Lions do.
Really?
Hell yeah. You guys will never win a playoff game.
I think, Vinny, I might be willing to say it.
I think, John.
This year,
I had Lions fan.
This year, the Lions actually make the playoffs and maybe win a game.
You just had them going like 8-8, dude. You can't change because the draft's on now.
Listen. When I recorded the podcast then, I'm still recovering. Now I get to see the draft and what we're going to do. I might go 9. No, I actually have them going 10-6. I got them going 10-6 if you actually listen to the podcast. And not because the Lions are great, but because their schedule is god-awful. The teams on there are not that good. So they're going to go 9-7, 10-6, and I think they're going to get a playoff win this year. This year could be a great year, Vinny. You're not. What are your thoughts about the season? When you first saw the schedule,
I said it's easy, and then we tallied it up, and I still had them going 7-9.
You did 7-9. Why? Why do you got them going 7-9? I think the schedule is easy. You're playing the likes of Tennessee.
You're playing Minnesota, who won the division twice. Green Bay twice. Who's the guy that put the Carolina Panthers together? He just put the Lions together. He put the Bears together. He's Ernie Accorsi.
Mm-hmm.
The second year with John Fox and Jay Cutler. So the Bears are probably going to beat us twice. They still have they still have their number one wide receiver, don't they? What the hell is Alshon Jeffrey, right? Do you re-sign with the Bears?
I think you're still with the Bears.
They're going to draft Ezekiel Elliott, the Bears, either that or Dallas. I think the Bears are going to draft Ezekiel Elliott. We're going to have to deal with him and Jeremy Langford. And I don't even off the top of my head right now, I don't have the schedule in front of my face. So thanks a lot. But when I tallied it up at the end of the day, they can't play good outside on the road. They can't do it.
See, your brother can't have a little bit of hope.
I can't fathom them winning playoff games. I just can't.
Why?
Let me look their schedule up right now. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Look it up. But your brother has a hard time because, like a lot
I've
of
been
Lions
getting shit on my whole life by them. I'm sorry.
Exactly. They've had a lot of, the Lions have sucked for so long. They've just have had
sorry,
all
I'm
these
not
problems.
Jerry Mallory.
They've had such a history
Okay,
of
check
losing.
it out. At Colts. Can they beat them?
No.
Okay.
Lost.
0-1. Titans.
We don't have to do that.
Marcus Mariota.
Just